We have truly come a very long way in the world of photography, and I think a lot of times we're often scared of the advancement of things that we have at our disposal. I remember when I first started in photo school, one of the things that we were all terrified of was this, an iPhone. We thought iPhoneography, or just mobile phone photography in general, was going to be a big threat to traditional photography. And I feel like we're kind of in that same space again today, but this time with AI. And I feel like there's a lot of areas where artificial intelligence is really good for us photographers. In fact, we've been using it for a long time. If you've ever used Photoshop in some way, shape, or form, you are using artificial intelligence because of different key features it has. But then there's some areas of artificial intelligence I think are phenomenal, like in today's episode, how they have this new restore technology built inside of Photoshop. Now, the restore is in beta, so I can imagine it's only going to get better, but the colorization actually does really good. But let's take a look inside of Photoshop. Now, this is just regular Photoshop. It's not the beta version, but what we're going to be using here is the neural filters. So let's take this image that I found from Unsplash and let's just go to the neural filter catalog here. And at the very bottom, you're going to see photo restoration, and you can see that it is still in beta, but let's go ahead and click on that and see what it can actually do. So with this image, it doesn't do the best job. I have already tested it out, but once it does get done, you can see that it actually doesn't look too bad. There's still a lot of areas that we're going to have to go in and fix ourselves, but overall, it did do a great job as a starting point for us. Now let's go ahead and click on colorize and see how well it can do. And you can see there's a couple areas of her arm here that still look a little bit odd, but overall, I don't think it did that bad. So let's go ahead and send this out to a new layer, and you can see a quick before and after. So it got rid of some of the grain, it kind of cleaned up her face a little bit, and obviously it did add some color to the image. Now, if we wanted to go in, we could take the healing brush tool here and just kind of click over some of these scratchy areas and clean this image up super fast. So here's another example of an image that I've already kind of worked on. And you can see that it does miss out on spots here of this little girl's hair and her face. And of course, here on the sides, these light leaks that came in. But in reality, with this particular image, we could simply just do a crop on it and get rid of those sides if we wanted to. Or you could even take it into Photoshop Beta and use more artificial intelligence to construct that scene on these exteriors where the light leaks are coming in and the photo doesn't look the best. But honestly, a nice little crop here does well. So let's go on over to a couple other photos. So this one was one that we colored in. So this was the image beforehand. You can see that it's very grainy, it's very flat. And then after we did the restoration and the colorization, it adds a little bit more contrast. It kind of smooths out the image a little bit and then throws in the colors. And I think it's phenomenal where we're going in a lot of areas with AI. Do I think they're all great? Of course not. I think there's some problems, there's some issues, and there's a lot of fine lines there as to what is going to be appropriate versus not when it comes to photography. But I think things like this are phenomenal, and I hope you can find some good use out of it. This is a cool feature I think you should try out. There's a lot of other really cool neural filters too, and we'll hit on those at another time. But if you haven't played around with the neural filters, you're definitely missing out. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, be sure to create something new today.